Hi, my name is Lee Shetgun. My student ID is 8511251252760001. I'm Bachelor of Business Administration student from Kota Kinabalu Learning Center. Today, my presentation is about Introduction to Interpersonal Communication Issues. Today, I will discuss two common issues we encounter in interpersonal communication: assumption and poor listening. In any team or relationship, effective communication is essential for smooth collaboration and building trust. However, assumption and lack of attentive listening are common challenges that we can lead to misunderstanding, even conflicts. I will walk through each issue, sharing examples and key takeaways on how to overcome these barriers. First issue is assumption without clarification. One of the biggest pitfalls in communication is making assumption without ensuring mutual understanding. We tend to assume that others understand our perspective or terminology, but this often leads to confusion. For example, in a team project I work on, we agree to finalize the report by a certain date. However, finalize mean different things to each team members. Some saw it as a rough draft, while others thought it meant a polished document ready for submission. This misalignment wasted time as we often had to redo work or make last-minute changes. From this experience, I learned that clarifying expectation, asking open questions, and using precise terms can save time and avoid misunderstanding. Second issue is poor listening. Another common communication barrier is poor listening. Often, we distract or quick form judgments, which limit our ability to truly hear the person. I encountered this during a feedback session with a team member who became defensive rather than open to improvement. They were more focused on defending their action than understanding the feedbacks. This made the conversation difficult and limited its effectiveness. I realized that true listening requires an open mind and the willingness to set aside personal judgment. When both sides actively listen, it creates a foundation for meaningful dialogues and foster better understanding. Now, let's look at the impact of these issues. Making assumptions can lead to misaligned goals and wasted times, as team members may not be on the same page. Poor listening, on the other hand, limit productive dialogues and can even create conflicts. When we don't listen carefully, it's challenging to build mutual understanding, which is essential for teamwork and effective collaboration. These barriers not only slow down progress, but can also harm relationships if left unaddressed. To overcome these barriers, it is important to develop two key habits. First, encourage open questions to clarify assumptions. Don't assume that everyone shares the same definitions or expectations. Secondly, practice active listening. This means minimizing distraction, keeping on an open mind, and genuinely trying to understand the other person's point of view. When we actively work to address these barriers, we create an environment that supports better teamwork, stronger relationship, and more effective collaboration. Thank you for listening, and I hope insight helped you enhance your own communication skills. Today, I will discuss two major barriers in organizational communication: information gaps and hierarchical structures. These barriers are widespread in many organizations, impacting efficiency, understand, and even employee morale. Information asymmetries occur when certain information doesn't circulate properly across teams. Hierarchical structures then reinforce this gap by creating barriers to open communications, particularly across different levels of the organizations. I will break down how these issues affect communication and ultimately influence employee motivation and organizational effectiveness. Let's start with information gaps. This happens when there isn't free and consistent flow of information across departments. Information silos or selective sharing by certain individuals means that employees often have only part of the picture. For instance, in some organizations, the marketing team might lack insight from the product development team, leading to misaligned goals and strategies. Without full visibility, teams are likely to make decisions with incomplete information, resulting in disjoint efforts, delay, and errors. Ultimately, this lack of coordination weakens overall performance. Next, let's look at hierarchical structures. Hierarchies restrict open communication through a top-down approach where information only flows through formal channels. This approach can discourage employees from sharing feedbacks or innovative ideas as they feel compelled to follow a strict chain of command. For example, in many organizations, employees are hesitant to speak up or provide honest feedback because of the need to go through formal channels. This limitation means that valuable insight and ideas are often missed. When information filters through multiple layers of management, it also risks to being distorted, slowing down response time and reducing engagement. So, what are the broader consequences of information gaps and hierarchical structures? For employees, these barriers can lead to feeling disconnected from the organization's goals, lowering their motivations and engagement. For the organizations, the impact includes inefficiency, duplicated work, and weakened teamwork as employees lack of comprehensive view of objective. Additionally, when communication is restricted, mistrust can grow between departments. If some teams have information that others lack, this disparity can create a sense of unfairness and reduce overall collaboration. To address these barriers, organizations can consider two key solutions. First, promoting transparent and cross-departmental communication practice can bridge information gaps. Encouraging departments to share updates and insight openly, foster collaborations, and help teams align their goals. Second, adopting a flatter structures where employees are empowered to communicate directly can enable more dynamic interactions. When hierarchy barriers are reduced, decision-making becomes faster, and employees feel more engaged. Together, these changes promote a culture of openness, faster response times, and stronger buy-in from employees. Thank you for listening, and I hope this insight highlights the importance of addressing communication barriers. Thank you, my tutor, Mr. Sufyan, for your guidance and support throughout this semester.